Blog Talk Radio.
The motherfucking saga continues.
Yo, what's up, world? It's badass thuggin' like I usually do, and you better turn it up, bust some speakers out, cause we off the motherfucking cuff. You dig how we do it? Dog Pound Gangsters 2000 and beyond. Bless.
What's up with it, y'all? Man, don't change that down. This your player partner, the legendary Cocaine. And you tuned in live to Off the Cuff Radio. Better not touch that down. Well.
Yeah, this is Cassidy, the hustler. And right now, you listening to the Guillotine. Show them the respect they deserve, man. Off the Cut Radio, man. Y'all already know how they doing it, man. I need y'all to stay tuned. They've been doing it for years, so show them the respect they deserve. And you heard it out of bars, man. Easy.
Keep it moving like this. Yo, this your boy Rampage. You're not rocking with the best. With Off the Cuff Radio. Classic. History. Fix your face to all you haters. We off the cuff, baby.
What's up, everybody? This your girl, Bonnie Dollars, the Queen of Trap, representing Crenshaw, and you are now tuned in with Off the Cuff Radio. What's up? What's up, y'all? This is Miss Irresistible, giving a shout out to the livest show on Friday nights, Off the Cuff Radio, and I'm live from the 704.
Girl, I heard he likes strippers that do this thing with their butt. What do you call that? Twerking? I can't twerk or dance. Why would I want to twerk? I can't make my ass clap with no hands. Like, that's weird. Like, you have no class.
I got him slide down pose, pop it on the handstand.
Pop it on the hands, pop it on the handstand. I got him slide down the pole, pop it on the handstand.
On the handstand,
pop it on the handstand. I got him slide down the pole, pop it on the handstand.
Pop it on the handstand, pop it on the handstand. Slide down pose, pop it on the handstand.
On the handstand, pop it.
Why have an apple? You can have a peach. You rather catch a ooh, I'd rather cruise your beach. Super saucy, make it dance like a freak. On the beach, so funky, smell like hobo feet. Verbal architect, yeah, ho sweat that squeak one. My squad's all here, we bout to have fun. Freaks of the week with diamonds in their tongue. Bitcoin Ronnie don't run with no thumb. Got him sliding down pose, pop it on the handstand. How you gonna be a P? You ain't even half a man. I make the party pop lit and I'm cracking. I'm gonna be smoked and by Seattle cracking. Late have a zoo, but I'm cool. She ain't wearing panties and her titties tattooed. All she do is twerk and eat fast food. Quit being envious of others, that shit ain't cool. Got him slide down pose, pop it on the handstand.
Pop it on the hands, pop it on the handstand. I got him slide down the pole, pop it on the handstand.
On the handstand,
pop it on the handstand. I got him slide down the pole, pop it on the handstand.
pop it on the handstand, pop it on the handstand. Slide down pose, pop it on the handstand. On the handstand,
Pop it. Damn girl, I wanna be your best friend. All games aside, baby, I'm a grown man. Let me whisper in your ear something you wanna hear, and then later on we can get up out of here. So she looked me in my eyes, then gave me a giggle. Then she walked away so I can see that dang jiggle. Bad little broad, I think her name was Rudy. Thought she was all that because she had a fat booty. I'm trying to snatch me up something, then duck off. I ain't coming out my pockets, nigga, I'm a boss. Hold on, let me pop my piece for a minute. Pose, paper, power, problems, punks come with it. Now who's sliding down the pole doing a handstand? And when she crack it open, niggas don't understand. I'm in the front row with a stack in my hand. Come on, baby, let me see you do that again.
slide down pose, pop it on the handstand.
Pop it on the hands, pop it on the handstand. I got him slide down the pole, pop it on the handstand.
On the handstand,
Pop it on the handstand. Slide down the pole, pop it on the handstand.
pop it on the handstand, pop it on the handstand. Slide down pose, pop it on the handstand. On the handstand, slide down pose, pop it on the handstand.
Pop it on the hands, pop it on the handstand. I got him sliding down the pole, pop it on the handstand.
On the handstand,
Pop it on the handstand. I got him sliding down the pole, pop it on the handstand.
pop it on the handstand, pop it on the handstand. Slide down pose, pop it on the handstand. On the handstand,
Pop it.
Yeah, live and direct. This is your host, King Eric, the Media Assassin. We are now tuned in, episode 673, Off the Cuff Radio. We outside this spring, damn it. And we got my host T-Max with the facts on the line with me. But before I bring him on, I want to say a salute to Screwball Radio, Buddy Boy Entertainment. This show is sponsored by Da Vinci Clothing. Now I'm bringing T-Max on the line. What's good with you, brother?
What to do, y'all? Another tremendous Tuesday on the most outstanding OTC frequency. That is Off the Cuff Radio. Shout out to our co-host in spirit, Ilana Sandman, Lady Chinchilla, and of course, DJ Sincere, Dirty Basement Radio. We are ready to turn it up on this tremendous night, as always, and Kings. And what up, Spirit Wonder? We see you in the queue already. What up, man?
Yeah,
King, tell everybody about who we got it. Yeah, man, tell everybody who we got tonight.
Yeah, big shout out to Big Fleetwood, man, for connecting me with this brother, man. We was chopping it up earlier. And he been putting in a lot of work, man, going back to 1995 when he was going to release his album, Really Cheating. And he's been putting it down up and down throughout the turf for the past 30 years. A lot of your favorite rappers know him and respect him. So he's here on Off the Cuff Radio to tell his story. Any new projects coming around, any films, whatever the case may be. So it's all welcome, Squeek Nutty Bug, to Off the Cuff Radio.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Thank you, man. How y'all doing, Off the Cuff Radio? You know what I'm saying?
We
Thank
good,
you for having me.
Thank you.
You know, how y'all doing tonight?
Hey, we blessed, brother.
We good, man.
That's what's up.
Taking this wave right out back to the West Coast, man. So you got a lot of big chicken out there.
Yeah, let's get it, man. It's popping out here out west. You know?
Man, look, Squeak, listen to that track, man. Definitely brings back, not that it ever left in the first place, but it definitely conjures up everything in terms of the energy of the Gentlemen's Club establishment, big titties, shaking ass, making it rain with the dollars in all climates and good times and even better vibes. Definitely a winter track. I mean, it's all about hip hop having fun, man, and you definitely have exhibited that with that. You got a history. We want to hear it. Tell everybody about yourself.
I'm Squeek Nutty Bug. I'm out of Seattle, recording artist. You know, started in like '94. You know, raised and grew up in Gary, Indiana. Moved to Seattle. You know, did a lot of shows out here with various crews and whatnot. I was managed by Sam Stevens, you know, and that's his partner and brother was Ezel's Chicken, famous Ezel's Chicken. Shout out to Ezel's Chicken. You know, everybody knows about Ezel's Chicken all around the world. And got signed by James Croon and Dominic Davis for CD Ray's Records. You know, which both now those gentlemen do super huge things out here in Washington, you know. And the producer was RC, Ryan Croon, Sideways, and famous Kevin Gardner. Kevin Gardner did the solo on the back of the song, the ending of the song. The song was called I'll Get You High. That was on that 9-song EP and whatnot. And yeah, man, you know, we did our first song. It hit the radio. And then after that, it was a wrap. I was able to keep doing this, you know. It hit the radio. It got real big. Q93. Shout out to Q93. That's not no longer here, but you know, I was able to keep it mashing for this long off of that song and EP. You know, added on some new songs. You know, I'll be in LA. You know, hanging out. You know, I went from Minneapolis to LA. Yeah, I've been moving around, man. I've been doing a whole lot, but you know, I went down to LA and got to kicking it with my homeboy Mac Brown, Fatal Mac, and DJ Bobby B, which is Sugar Free's DJ, as well as Sugar Free and the crew. You know what I'm saying? A lot of other people, you know what I'm saying? I can go down a list of different people that I hung with. Rick James, rest in peace, you know what I'm saying? My house in Canoga Park used to do little parties and whatnot. And somehow, you know, I was able to connect with my brother friend, do another song called Ice Cream Candy. I don't know if you guys got it, but you know, it's a current banger, you know what I'm saying? And it's been also keeping me afloat in the game, you know what I'm saying? As well as, you know, other various songs, you know what I'm saying? But After that, I did a song with my buddy Fat Black. You know what I'm saying? Fat Black just got signed by Jay Diggs. You know what I'm saying? You know, and now he's running the company. That Diggs is gone. He's running it a little bit, and we got a real fresh song. You know what I'm saying? Called Ratchet. I probably sent it to you. I don't know if I did, but you guys will be able to hear it. And currently working with Coats for Kids and Shoes for Youth. You know what I'm saying? Helping families less fortunate out here. I've been doing that for the last couple of years. Well, I moved back from California, obviously back to Seattle. You know what I'm saying? And all the Clearhead Entertainment, everything was gone. You know what I'm saying? CD Ray's Records was gone and whatnot. So I was able just to pick up the pieces. I go with my buddy Ant Dog, you know what I'm saying? And we got in the kitchen, started cooking up some stuff, you know what I'm saying? Got back with RC, we cooked up that new song, Good For Me. If it's good for me, it's good to me. Good to me, it's good for me, you know what I'm saying? And that thing's a banger. I just did a show with E40 and Too Short and them guys out there in Spokane, man, and heard that song on that big arena sound, and almost lost my mind. I was like, man, that's my song? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of names, a lot of shows, a lot of things I've done. I know currently I got to do a Blueface show May 10th at First and Bell. Was funny because the full circle around, the same guy who put in money for my first music, I mentioned his name earlier, his son is doing the concert with Blueface and got to club downtown Seattle. Ain't that crazy?
Hey, I mean, it's how it works. Your journey, 206, shout out to Washington, Seattle, the 206, all the way to, I believe, what is it, the 217 out there in Gary, Indiana. A lot of people forget, that's where Jackson's come from, and that's where Freddie Gibbs is from.
Come on. Talk to him. Talk to him.
Yeah, man. And matter of fact, Glenn Robinson, the basketball player, played at Purdue. He's from Gary, Indiana as well.
Yeah. We got a lot of Gary, Indiana's in the, you know what I mean?
Now 317, I'm thinking of 317 area code. I had to recalibrate it. When you think about your sojourns, your travels, from where you came from, where you relocated to, how you found your footing, when did you fall in love with hip hop? Who were your inspirations, your motivations, and what was it like for you when you realized this is what you wanted to do?
Definitely my motivation inspired me in hip hop was Rakim. You feel me? You gotta know, as soon as you heard the Rakim thing, man, you like, hey man, I hear this track, man. Somehow it just got under my skin. He was saying some things that I could really relate to, But I got a lot of the storytelling and how to put it together from Ice Cube. Cube was a big inspiration for me, And growing up out here in the Pacific Northwest, we always, seen Sir Mix a lot, and was like, man, that's something. So sometimes in my music, I can go serious, but then I can go almost, a comical way about it. That's Sir Mix a lot part. You know what I'm saying? Because he's serious, but at the same time, it's something you can laugh at the same time. You know what I mean? And so looking up to him, he made $1 billion off of the stuff. So that was a good way to look at stuff. Instead of coming at things so aggressively. You know what I'm saying? There's a million aggressive rappers that's attacking it just, You're like, come on, man, lighten up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, if that answered your question a little bit.
Well, I mean, we think about Sir Mix a lot, man. And for those who really know the history, my first introduction along with everybody else was when, he dropped Posse on Broadway back in the day.
Yeah.
Then of course when he dropped Baby Got Back, that was off the Mac Daddy. That was the Mac Daddy album, because look, when I seen that dude flexing the Lamborghini back then, I was like,
hey, something about one of them albums you just said, right? A little history. I'm on the inside cover of that album. I don't know which one it is. Bumper Swift, Rex, Mac Daddy, one of them. I'm on the inside cover of the album because my homeboys to this day is his hype man and dancer. And that's who I started kind of getting the hip hop game with, one of the crews, you know what I'm saying? My homeboy, shout out to Rush Ryder, you know what I'm saying? And the rest of the Mitch Posse.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Sassy Seraphim, my homegirl, representing Two Up, Two Down in Virginia. Boo. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, when you look at it at that time, um, when you look at how Seattle, the Pacific Northwest, was already putting on in terms of hip hop, it shows the global reach and it shows that it can dope music comes from anywhere. When you saw that scene begin to blossom in the late 80s and early 90s, what did that do for everybody out there aspiring to be an artist, and for you specifically, knowing like we really got a chance to do something big with this?
Man, it was crazy. It was really crazy, but like I'm telling you, you know, you listen to the story. I like went into the studio, did a
Mm-hmm.
song, and before I could step out the studio, a dude signed me to a label, and it was on the radio, so it took off like wildfire. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
back then, everybody and their mom back then wanted to be a rapper, or artist, or singer, and so there was, you know, I think Nirvana was popping. My
Yeah,
homeboys
that came in
DMS was
91.
popping. Yeah, DMS got signed to D Shot, which is E40 and the Clicks family. You know what I'm saying? So they were
Right.
popping, and these is cats I didn't grow up with. So we're like, there's teenage groups out here that's like popping. It's like really popping. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted to be some type of talent, and it was really, it was wild. It was really wild. You know, it was really Seattle was really wild. It was a bunch of music and art being made back in the days out here. It was real harmonious, really. You know what I'm saying? It was like everybody was into doing some creative art, you know? And like nowadays it's the same but a little darker. You know what I mean? It's something else to it, you know what I mean? It's not the same. I think there was more love in the arts back then, you know, but nowadays it's different, you know what I'm saying? Social media made it a little different, you know? But yeah.
It is. And when we think about it, Squeak, when we look at that era, the 90s, when you mentioned D Shot, shout out to Sick With It Records, Sugar
I
T,
love
we
the
had her
sick
on a
one.
couple years back, you know, E40, Be Legit,
Oh, yeah.
Jupiter, that whole crew, man. You know, look, Studio Ton, Uncle St. Charles, I mean,
Yeah, you
the
said some of
whole
the names now.
707 Vallejo. Look,
Yeah,
we gonna spend like the damn next 2 hours. Shout out everybody in the Bay Area, but we love
you
them
know what
so
I'm saying?
much.
I Pray
Um,
5, you know what I'm saying? Sleep Dank, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, man.
Mr. Go
Look,
Time, you know what I'm
Crest
saying?
Side, Young Lay, Mac Mall.
Uncle
Yeah,
Tone and
they was
them.
Real.
crazy.
Yeah,
Um, when we saw the Bay Area had been in full effect really since Uncle Short in the early 80s, and it came to prominence more with Richie Rich and Mac Dre and E40. Those are, to me, the Mount Rushmore of the Bay Area legends.
yeah,
Oakland, Vallejo, all them. When you look at how the 90s really made that turning point and how it really opened up that era, when you look at what did it mean for artists to get on? And you talked about all the artists, how your trajectory was to get signed. What was it like in terms of going through the process to get on, getting signed? And this is just for artists out there in terms of what it meant,
um,
what the
well,
process was.
the first thing is they like your music, you give them a demo. You gotta get in the studio.
Right.
This is before disc, so you had a tape. You know what I'm saying? You had to go somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
make a recording, make it look presentable, hand it off to somebody representable, and hope they like it to even negotiate the talking with you to get behind your music. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And from there it was I guess your contracts and whatnot, to take your pictures and whatnot, and all kind of craziness, you know. It's just it was a business behind it, you know. And it's funny how you mentioned, like, you know, Be Legit, E40 and some of those names, you know. In that process of me being signed, the people that I was being signed to had producers that were producing E40 and Be Legit's music. So, you know, as soon as I'm on the couch and in the studio with Be Legit and E40 and these guys. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, coming like I told you, I left Minnesota, went to California to come back to Seattle. I almost was like I was foreign to it. You know, be honest, I wasn't aware really. You know what I'm saying? And it was cool. You know what I'm saying? We got a friendship to this day. You know, I'm on a song with Be Legit, Seabo, and Little Bruce. You know, gotta buy dope from us. And that was just off the introduction, like, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's something else, man. You know, it's something else. You gotta stay focused, stay to it. You know what I'm saying? Do your work early. Like, I'm glad I did my work early. You know what I'm saying? I did my work early because, you know, I seen a lot of people playing the game and miss it. You know, they missed their time to do what they had to do because they were onto something else when they should have been focused. So, you know, seeing a lot of other record companies around me with their young artists trying to get in the game and, you know, stay afloat. A lot of them didn't make it, you know, like I look around from that time to right now, and a lot of those people from back then aren't around doing it anymore. So it's a blessing to even still be doing it in the game, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I did my work early, you know what I mean? And stayed to the craft and kept it real, you feel me? You know? But, you know, I don't tell you, I ain't gonna lie and say it ain't trying, you know what I'm saying? There's been some ups and downs. It ain't been no cakewalk. I tell you that. You know?
Look. What was the point? What was the point in your life where you were like, man, look, I want to go in and dedicate my whole livelihood to this rap thing?
Man, that was that song. That first song. I was into some stuff back then, you know what I'm saying? It changed my whole life. You know, the music game changed my whole life. And that's happened a couple times, you know? Like working with my buddy Channel ATV. David Sherwell, he was like, you know, what do people know you for the most? What do they know you for? I was like, making music. He was like, well, then that's what you probably should just stay doing. You know what I mean? And that's when I kind of turned it up a notch again. You know what I'm saying? I turned it up a notch. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I can make some money out of that. I've been doing it so long, you know what I'm saying? Why not turn it up a notch, you know what I'm saying? And it got real serious to the point where, you know, it's good. It's good for me, you know what I'm saying? It's really good therapy, really. Hip hop music, honestly, is healing. You know what I'm saying? It's like therapy. You get to sit there and let off whatever you're going through. Whatever's in your mind, you get to get it off. It's better than holding it inside. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, hope that answers
definitely a
your
catharsis.
question.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's definitely a catharsis, Squeak. When we think about that 90s era, because we were coming from the East Coast, we didn't really know about how it was balling and flossing. Like I said earlier, when I seen Mix-a-Lot in that Lamborghini and that mink coat, I was like, oh shit, he like really getting it then.
Yeah.
And then when we thought about E40 and all them, because we were not really hip on it, I didn't get hip until 40 until, to be honest, 1995 when he did Sprinkle Me. But then after that, and then when I watched the Unsung, that's when I went back and I really read the whole history of how they started. And then when you think about it, they were the pioneer, one of the West Coast pioneers of independent labels. So they were already, so you were around them learning the game in terms of how to move independent. What did you learn about that entrepreneurship? Go ahead.
And then, man, I'm so thankful for that. I got to see that and was like actually produced by the same producers. I got to see things like Daryl Hall and John Olsen there. I got to see these things, you know what I'm saying? Coming up in the game, you know what I'm saying? Being around that stuff. And like you said, you know, we see Snoop, we see Jay-Z, you see how they, you know, what are they, Rihanna, see Fitney label, you see they branch off into some merchandise type things, you know what I'm saying? So like this video, you know, I got a sponsor, energy drink. Shout out to Bragabilia Energy Drink. I even got another sponsor, Good Vibes. You know, I've learned to make the songs to fit to a package, not to give you my receipt, my recipe or anything, but people like E40, it was like, how do you compete? How do you even get close to it? You know what I'm saying? He got some drinks, he got hot dogs, he got ice cream. How do you even be able to be in the game from way back when and still be on top of the game, ahead of the game right now? So, you know what I'm saying? Looking at cats like that, I'm like, yeah, well, here comes the one spot, the energy drink. Now I get with the weed sponsors. Can we say that on the radio? Am I okay with this saying
Absolutely.
that?
Yeah,
Okay,
we
we got
can.
the Good Vibe sponsors. I named the song Ice Cream Candy. They named one of their damn brands Ice Cream Candy. We're hand in hand running around selling the stuff. You know what I mean? I got some other little
Hmm.
tricks up my sleeve with NFC chips and things like that. But I ain't, like I said, I ain't gonna tell the recipe. But they all count as album sales, and I get my merch off. And that fits to a person like me, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like a natural fundraiser. I mean, I'm natural talk to a person. I like to talk to people. You know what I'm saying? But like I like to do it, it may not also be good for me. So there's times that I should be doing it and times I shouldn't be doing it. You know what I mean?
Well, part of it
Yeah,
in
that
the games,
sponsorship
yeah.
is something different,
Mhm.
man. It's something that can bring equity to your brand.
Yes. Yes.
When you think about it, Squeak, and what you said, because part of this in terms of making music is also having a mouthpiece as well. In terms of having a mouthpiece as well to MC, it's about how you dialogue with the people, and that's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
You learn from some of the greatest game spitters ever in terms of their art of politicking on turf,
Yeah.
all over the earth. Um, to see your growth, and to not only see your growth, but to see the birth. Well, not necessarily the birth, but the offspring of it. To see guys like Richie Rich. Well, Rich was already there, of course, but to see guys like Filthy Rich, to see Mozzie in Sacramento, to see Stevie Joe, Lil Blood,
Yeah.
all of them, all these guys. Can't forget Cookie Money out of East Oakland. Stand up on, for the youngin', man, doing his thing. Neff the Fair, all those guys.
Yeah.
Did you all see what would come later? And how important was it for you all to set an example of integrity, entrepreneurship, and most importantly, longevity in the business?
To answer that question, it was like, to see the youngsters come up, they had their own world, you know what I'm saying? It was almost like you wasn't the only thing out there that can almost get into some trouble or be looked at a wrong way if you're not doing it right, you know what I'm saying? So watching them get through it was kind of cool. That means if you can watch someone get through it, then no one's watching you and bothering you. You know what I'm saying? So, the trials and tribulations, them guys, like, I don't wish for their arguments and problems, but it's never that. It's how they deal with it and how they react to it. You know what I'm saying? That becomes the problem because everybody's going to go through the little scuffles and ups and downs in the game. You know what I mean? That just comes with the game. But it's how do you react to it? So, a lot of them, they didn't end. A lot of them ended well and some didn't end too well. But you know what I'm saying? I think right now people got the drift of things. You know what I'm saying? They're like, okay, keep the violence up out of it. You know what I'm saying? We can get it popping. So most likely, keep your violence down as much as you can. You know what I'm saying? Stay focused on the prize. This is how you make your money. You gotta respect how you get your money. It's music. All the other street stuff. If you can get smart enough to leave the street politics out of it, it's cracking. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you want to make your money. But, there's a word called crash out. So some people do crash out. You know what I'm saying? They let the situation become the whole thing. Instead of, having a situation resolver, having a solution to the situation, they let the situation rule the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
you always got to have somebody that's going to be a problem solver. That's key and vital in every team.
You got to.
Shout out to D227. We see you. Thank you for joining us. When you think about it, what is the most important element in terms of how the business was conducted then and how it's conducted today? Because we see two entirely different paradigms. Where you all moved with a real reputation and were business oriented, some of the artists today are reckless and put their personal business out there, not understanding the ramifications of being that reckless in exposure.
Yeah, record company is almost like a big old security team. Can't nobody get to you. They can only see you perform. And all that stuff is inside, like you said. And nowadays, it's a cat, a computer, a laptop, and you're off to the world. You know what I'm saying? You
Right,
That's
know
the
what I'm
right.
bugged
saying?
out
You,
part. That's the
you
bugged
don't
out
have
part about it.
nothing blocks you off from any of the business. It all comes to you to drive you crazy. You know what I'm saying? Your phone's beeping and binging. You might blow up. You got some t-shirts, you know. But see, with the record company, oh, they handled all that, man. It was just so. It was the best times of my life, you know, to have some older brothers in the game, you know, Emerald
Hmm.
City Breakers, some reputable brothers, you know, looking after me as I was a young man into the rap game off of one song. I gave them one song and they had it in High Times magazine. I mean, this was like the Green Rush, you know, Chronic was all over the world, but it wasn't all over the world like it was in Seattle. So we was out here winning awards and getting a lot of money before they came and they took our jobs, you know, start putting up all these stores.
I
They
get
put
that
up all
South
these
Park
stores.
reference.
You know, a brother in Seattle, man, back in them days, man, off some tree. Oh my goodness, man. You get mansions, Benzes, everything. You were the guy, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's still like
Man.
that, but you know, it's slowed down a lot because, you know, they took our jobs.
Yeah,
But they
and
didn't take
that's
mine.
something that. Nah, you was
They-
all look. You was always on the job. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You was always
yeah,
on it. You was full time with it. Um,
yeah.
Tell us about the first time when you really got serious about the rhyme. Your first one that you penned, and when you got into the studio for the first time, and how did it feel doing that?
Um, I came in with doubt that the producer was able to do what I needed him to do, and he actually surprised
Hmm.
me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, a lot of the people I'm doing music with now, they kind of, it's almost like a trial, you know what I'm saying? A test to see if I'm even going to, you know, mix with them. And so some producers, you know, I get with it ain't there, and some I do, and it be really fresh, you know what I'm saying? I come out with some cool vibes, some cool smackers, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's really cool just locking in, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's you and the microphone, nothing else. You know, you and that microphone gotta do what it do. You know, when you go in the booth, you gotta make sure that your pronunciation's on, your breathing's right, you feel it. You gotta feel it off the top. You know what I mean? You know, that beat's just the background layer of what you're doing on that microphone. You know what I'm saying? You become the instrument. You know what I'm saying? If you can slow it down to where they catch on, it's cool. If not, it's poetry.
What was it like in terms of your first time? Like, how long did it really take you to adjust in terms of really getting your cadence down? Like you said, your breathing patterns, ultimately understanding what you wanted to convey on wax, and most importantly, feeling confident enough that the whole world will want to hear it.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Check this out. Look, I was signed to some gangsters, right? So all that
Right.
rapping fast thing, that kitty stuff, man, that was out the
Hmm.
window, my guy. You know what I'm saying? These guys were like, man, they said, hey, listen, they you was like, here, slow that shit down. You know what I mean?
Right.
And ever since then, I kept that. That was one to grow on. So when they weren't around, when my record company wasn't around, I was screwing off all kind of projects with other people, you know, rapping a mile a minute and just going crazy and stuff. But when it, you know, when it was around, you know what I'm saying, I went into that proper just way of rapping, you know what I'm saying? Like a cadence, no experimental stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like I was a
Hmm.
teenager, man. I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? So just imagine Seattle, some money, you're on the radio, a kid, a teenager on the radio. I mean, it was, oh man, it was crazy, man. It was a party nonstop, man. It was crazy, man. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, how long did it
Obvious.
take you to
Mhm.
complete it?
Which one?
The first one.
Oh man, I can't even tell you, man. Like 7 days. We
Oh
knocked that
wow.
thing out in 7 days, a song a day. Boop, 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 done. And this producer, we still work today like that. You feel me? He send me a song, I knock it out.
Now, obviously, you've had extensive experience, like you said, when you were a teenager starting. And as a grown man now, and with 30 plus years of experience, you've accumulated that wisdom. What did it mean for you to be around people who were really, really about seeing you develop and flourish, mentored you, took care of you? and most importantly, gave you that game of how not to get distracted at that age?
Oh man, that's a good question. And I'm glad you said that because we need more people around. We need more support from people to help them believe in themselves and also help them um, have their dreams come true to reality. Because
Right.
people like that, there's not that many. And if you get around some people like that, you should cherish them. You know, and stay with the program. You know what I'm saying? And like I always say, there's always room for improvement. So sometimes, when people tell you some stuff, what's that, criticizing or something, whatever, don't take it as something bad all the time. Maybe something that's just something you needed to hear to sharpen you up. You know what I'm saying? Something you don't see about yourself. You know what I'm saying? And people like that, you need them on your team. You need them. You need more of them. If you can find one. A matter of fact, if you can't find one, be one. Support somebody.
Mm.
Be someone's backbone if you can't find it. Because somehow, in the long run, all those people that are like that in my life, they all ended out in a good spot. They all had a peaceful balance. My rest in peace, Sam. That's the first person I thought about was Sam Stevens from Clearhead. Um, rest in peace, Sam. Um, it was about a harmony in life. You want just all the money, you want all the fame, or you want a balance, a healthy balance where you got your health and you don't got no problems, no one shooting at you or trying to rob you and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got a lot of game from a lot of good people about balancing out instead of just being all the way one way. You know what I'm saying? Equaling it out, being with one, having humbling yourself, taking control of your life. Don't have your life be so out of control that you're losing control with your life. You know what I'm saying? Because out west, these cats, man, be touching money, man. Things happen a lot faster, man. Like I said, I done seen a lot of people come and go, and they came in
Right.
Ferraris
Right.
and came in lowriders and came in candy paint and came in dualies. They came with death row. They came with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I look around, they ain't around, or you know what I mean? So you gotta get a good little balance. Longevity. Look at it for a longevity motive. Don't think anything's gonna happen overnight. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. And when we think about it, when we look at that level of it, you were out there getting money at a young age. What did you
Yes.
learn in terms of how you had to make that separation of one occupation into the other occupation? In terms, because we see some artists out there, they're still trying to live in the street, but not understanding it's time to make that separation, and you have to make it business in terms of, you know, this is full
I'm,
time. What we did
I'm,
before, this is not what we're doing now.
I'm glad you said it because with Squeek Nutty Bug as a brand, when I crossed over to fundraising for the church, for coats for kids and shoes for youth, and
Hmm.
working, with Channel ATV as a cameraman, being a part of campaigns of from everything from the governor's office to the White House to all kind of festivals and stuff. I had to figure out a way to leave something behind, but still be able to make that the original thing I stand for. You know what I mean? And so
Right.
I learned to use what I have. Well, God gave me this gift, and I learned to use that in a proper manner. And even when I'm off the stage, or if I'm not trying to volunteer to help families get funds, if I'm not doing that, I learn to turn it off and have a regular life. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of it's wild because somehow the streets gave me a way of talking to people, about a certain subject to make them really, do the right thing. You know, you know what I'm saying? Coming as an urban person in Seattle, if I'm in your neighborhood and I'm telling you what I'm standing for, and I'm asking you if you'll help stand with me for this cause, 9 times out of 10 people say yeah, because they can see a person like me a block away doing something different. You know what I mean? So they see me and be like, okay, I understand your cause, and then I'm able to go into my social media and be like, look, this is what I do also on the side, and I don't just do this now right here. I do this also on the stage. So hand in hand, the streets helped me do all of this. You feel me? I just had to find a niche and a script in it and mean it and stick to it. And you know what I mean? It's really cool. To where I mean, I wouldn't even dare do any of the things that I used to do before because it would mess up what I got going now. What I got going now is a really good thing. You know what I'm saying? I feel good about it. Everybody in the community feel good about it. You know what I'm saying? Family feel good about it. You know what I mean? So, it's not even tempting to mess up, really. You know?
That's important because once you find yourself being a cornerstone of the community and how you connect with it, right? So you know what it means to be the positive change that inspires another generation. And most importantly, Squeek, you did not lose your identity trying to have a certain identity. You understood who you stand 10 toes as a man. And from there, you were able to be like, okay, the transition is what is not only necessary, it's imperative. It is paramount.
Yeah.
For a lot of these artists today, and shout out to Sassy for what she was saying about how, people need to watch out for these artists, but some take advantage. What do you see in the industry today as to how predatory and exploitative, not that it never was, but seemingly how more it is now with the level of exposure that it was than it was back then?
I really can't say there's no way to protect the artist. How can you do it? Somebody's gonna get it. It's almost like having a girlfriend and you worried about someone asking her for a phone number. Man, they'll get on Twitter. They'll get on Instagram. They ask for a phone number on Facebook. There's 9 different ways to get your girl's phone number. So believe me, with an artist, you know how many people's gonna be coming at the artist on social media with the Facebook? You know what I'm saying? And
right.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna fall for something somewhere. You know what I mean? It was almost better back then because they hit you with the contract and you were had. You was like, man, I gotta make the best situation out of this. And that's what happened to me. Really, it was funny that you said this question. But I didn't whine about it. I didn't trip about it. You know what I'm saying? And I made the best out of it. I'm still standing with the whole run. You feel me? It's really popping, So it's almost like something that an artist needs to go through. You almost got to go through a bad situation in music so you can understand where it's really good at. Not to say that's needed, because nobody ever wants no one to go into a bad situation. But you know what I'm saying? You got to, like I said, how are you going to react? Some people react and lawyer up quick. Smartest thing I know in the world. Feel me? You know what I mean? Someone do you wrong somewhere, man, go get that lawyer, man. Get busy. You feel me? Yeah, they don't know not to play what you did. But, some people take it to the streets, you know what I'm saying? And some other things like that. They get on social media. They play with their people's names. Then they go back and forth with them and in and out of beds. And, and there it is. You know what I'm saying? The artist blowed up for some scandal instead of the music. You feel me?
Absolutely. During your time, did you ever have any issues with any artists that escalated into something more, or was it pretty much something you managed to squash before it really went left?
Yeah, I kind of stayed in my own lane. It was real easy. Whatever I was on, I wasn't into what other cats was on. You feel me? And it was easy for me just to do what I got to do. You know what I mean? If an artist didn't like me, I didn't know about it. And that was kind of cool with the record company because, the record company, they were like, like I said, they was on some other shit. You know what I mean? I heard about some things, but it never really physically came to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's important, man, because when we look at it back in the day, everybody references Tupac and Biggie because that was a situation that 2 people died because of a conflict. When you think about what it is, how important is it for artists to understand that when you get out there and you start trading barbs out there publicly, trying to slander, trying to throw salt on somebody, talking about what you're going to do. We're all older, so we come from a different means of how stuff is communicated and how it's handled. And most importantly, if it does go one way, we're thinking about it before it even has to jump off. Where you have a lot of these artists today, they don't even think about it. They're just gonna get out there like, fuck this nigga, he ain't gonna do. And I'm like, y'all don't even think about this before y'all get out there and say something.
Yeah, they missed the whole art of war, and it's chess, not checkers. You know what I'm saying? Just because somebody
Tell them
do something
about
don't mean
Sun
you gotta
Tzu. Tell them
respond to
about
it.
Sun Tzu.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't gotta, you ain't gotta respond to every sucker that say something about you. You feel me?
Hmm.
Let it add up and hit them all at once. You know what I'm saying? Make it count. If ain't no money in it, who cares? If it's about some money, okay. You feel me? Ain't about no money, man. I don't care about none of that, man. Have fun. You feel me?
Right.
Have edit. You know, talk about me more. But with the young artists, man, I knew some kids that just did a diss record and lost their life. You feel me?
Ooh.
So it's
Hmm.
yeah, I would keep my name off of other people. Focus on the focus. You feel me? Don't focus on nothing on the side. Have what those call it with blinders on. With blinders,
Right.
you can't see nobody on the side of you in a race. It's almost a race, really. You know, it's not a race, but it's a race, and it's a race because it's the human race. You're gonna have to do what you gotta do to get to the top, whether you're moving fast or slow. You know what I'm saying? But focus on where you need to go instead of the person on the side of you in the same race. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's like anything.
Tell us about the first tour you went on. And when did you know that your music back in the day when you started, when you were really beginning to get momentum? And tell us about
What's
the
that?
shows. Tell us about your first tour in terms of doing your shows and when your music really began to blow. When did you know when you started that you really had something and that you and the crew could really, really, really make some motion with it?
What Paul said again?
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, so tell us about when you really knew that your music was really moving from when you started, and then the shows, your first show, and then your first big tour subsequently from that. And when you all knew, like, this is for real.
Oh yeah, man, it's crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. That's everywhere I went. You know what I'm saying? In the city, everywhere I went, I could go places to this day. People know my name. In and out of the city, and then when it hit in Europe, when it went off in Europe and whatnot, and it's crazy. It was just really crazy. You know what I'm saying? Even in California, like I didn't want to go to LA, and I went to LA, and they knew who
Hmm.
I was. You know what I'm saying? I immediately stepped in with everybody, all the names. You know what I'm saying? Shows with all the names. It was almost faster in LA than anywhere. You know, and yeah, I was like, I don't want to not do this. Well, I was in Canoga Park, really. I think I was
Okay.
talking about this story earlier. I was in Canoga Park, and Rick
Okay.
James is at the house. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Bobby B and Sugar Free and them guys, and it was so nice out there in Canoga Park that, I called back home to Seattle and said, man, I ain't never coming back to Seattle. I ain't never coming. It was so lovely in Topanga Canyon. I'm with Be Easy, and he did a lot of stuff with Ruthless Records artists and stuff. So I'm on Lakers, him doing a lot of tracks with him. Think even had Barry Gordy's son through there. You know what I'm saying? He had some tracks. It's just crazy, man. I was like, yeah, this is
Re-
for me. I must have done shows with Exhibit. I mean, second to none. I mean, I'm pulling up with people I just met and being able to get on a microphone that fast. It was just like this is unreal. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, how is this possible? They're like, homegirls, like, they heard of your music. I told them about you and they'd seen it or whatnot. You know what I mean? They was like tripping. They couldn't believe it was you that was out here. So I had a really good time in LA. I got a super good experience in LA. And that's when I knew it was something different. Then I seen some of my buddies from Seattle having shows in LA, and then we would meet up, and it was like crazy as hell because, it was real,
Look, being around the legends, you soaked up a lot of game and were bathed in the wisdom. Tell us about being around the Mad Funker legend himself, Rick James. What was that like?
He kind of reminded me of George Clinton. I was around Clinton too. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
Hmm.
um, having respect for my elders. I really didn't trip about what they did. You feel me? You know,
Right, right.
So he was living a life that I wouldn't expect him to live, but I had respect for him and how he lived it. You know what I'm saying? So most of the time around Rick, we had fun and just lived our lives. You know what I'm saying? We had fun, and lived our lives, and protected our peace. You know what I'm saying? Protect your peace boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Some people just be all in your grill and all over you. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to be around people like that sometimes. So sometimes you go places where you can just really just have a peaceful sit down, a peaceful environment. You know what I'm saying? It's a peaceful, conversation, just a peaceful whatever. You know what I mean? So I was able to have a place where he could be, he can hang out and chill out. You know what I'm saying? Without nobody in his grill and whatnot. So even to nowadays, to even where I'm at right now, I could be a lot of places, but I choose to be at the studio because I get the peace and the environment that I like. You know what I'm saying? Without everybody in my grill. You know what I'm saying? So, I got that. I could say I picked that up from Rick.
The focus is necessary. Like you said, you focus on the focus because when you have a job, there are so many elements of the celebrity trappings, the fame, the fortune, the wine, the women, the song, the glamour and glitz, and so many others, the extravagance and the opulence. What do artists have to understand? What did you learn about how to pace yourself, how to balance yourself, and how to not let it get ahead of you, but to keep it in your peripheral, but not make it the main? Because some people, once they get in it, they're just focused on the riches of the wealth, but not the pricelessness of their soul staying sacred.
Make the money. Don't let the money make you. And I'm the wrong person to ask, really. But I'm a school of find out where you're weak at and tighten up on that. You feel me? Don't let that be your weakness. So I'm the wrong one to ask. You know what I'm saying? I went think about it, from way back when to now. And I ain't sprung out. You know what I'm saying? I ain't on no type of ankle monitors. I ain't a super alcoholic. Not to say anything bad, but I went through all of that. All the traps. You said it. All the traps, the women, the sex, the drugs, all the entrapments with money and da-da-da-da. I can't say I'm a saint, but, I got room for improvement. And I'm doing what I need to do the best way that I feel. And I'm not just chasing, every dollar, every which way it comes. And, but, there's always room for improvement. And, like I said, my way of saying to find out where you're weak at and then make sure that it doesn't slow you down, because the passion is music. You know what I'm saying? Have love. If you got love about anything, love yourself, right? And you got a passion, so you got to do your music. So if anything is stopping you from doing music, that's the first thing that got to go. If you're late, you're not feeling good, whatever you just did, man, you can't do that no more because it's messing up the music part. And that's your passion. So that's what I learned, you know what I'm saying? From all of them, from everybody, you know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of stuff, been through a lot of stuff, been through a lot with a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And it's just that solution, everything come with problems. It's just the solution and how you gonna react to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just like in this business, man, it has this way of just pretty much not only sucking the confidence out of you, but also sucking the soul out of you as well. And there have been times, like, even when we doing this content space, like we just want to just, you want to just, either throw in the towel or, you just want to whoop the next exec's ass for, messing with your money. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, so, look, you just said it right there. If you play with my money, expect the ass whooping. You feel me?
Exactly.
Some things, and then it comes lawyer up. I got lawyer, I got security. How you want to deal with it? I'm going to bash your ass or I'm going to fight you. But I need my money, man. What else are we doing? What else are we doing? You don't like me, man? I didn't take your fucking money. You took mine. What the fuck are we doing here? You need
He's
to
like, nigga, how you gonna be mad at me for some shit you did?
Yeah, you the one gotta pay me.
Cause that's what it does in this business sometimes. Like, it gets you in that space like, man, look, you just ready to crash. But how did you get to that point where you just not only remain level-headed, but also stay the course?
Because I'ma still get them. They all owe me money and I ain't done. I ain't done. I'm gonna get my money. I got patience. Put it like this. in this game, you better have some patience, boy. Or you better be an octopus in the rap game. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't think you
Tentacles
getting
all over
one way of
touching
making money.
everything.
Don't think a rapping is gonna pay you. You better be paid before you got on that microphone. Real business. You better have some hustle before that microphone. Because if you think that was what's gonna pay you, you crazy as hell. You better have some patience. You know what I'm saying? You want to get paid on this mic? You better have some patience. You want to get paid on this mic? You better have some octopus arms. You know what I'm saying? You better get money in all different facets. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you still love the microphone, because there was times I was making money, like I was talking about Canoga Park. I was making that money. I didn't want to rap. You feel what I'm saying? Like you said, it'll take your soul, take your whole thing. But you know, you got to look at your life for real, you know, and who you really are. You know what I'm saying? Like I Sugar Free was like, man, if you want to get on a song, man, you know, let me know anytime, man. Go back up to Seattle, do your thing, man. Send me a song. I did. I took his word. I did what he said. I did it. And I'm glad I did what he said. Now I'm talking to you guys on Off the Cuff Radio. Just think, if I didn't listen to Uncle Sugar Free, I would not be on Off the Cuff Radio right now.
And that's the blessing of how it comes back around, man.
Okay.
People like yourself, we are so grateful for you coming on the show. People like, you know, Fleetwood, so many others that have supported
Shout out
us
to
throughout the
Fleetwood,
years.
man. Shout out to Fleetwood.
You know, and what you said, Squeak, is so profound, because it's about having the thought to have the octopus opulence of thought tentacles to touch everything possible out there. Because you want to have you want to have the diversification of your dollars in all directions to collect on everything. You know. Who taught you in terms of how to save and how to really conserve, in terms of really understanding, maintaining, and diversification of profit?
I could say the pastor and my buddy Davey Sherwood, Channel ATV, and also I listen to my buddy Teddy, and I also listen to my buddy Mr. York, High Energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
They keep it out. They put it out there for me, and also Boss Curtis, which is Omar Gooden's manager. I talk to Boss Curtis a lot, and you know, so the game's always moving. So you got to talk to the people that's in the game. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand when they say stuff, they may not be saying it to bash you, like I was saying. They may be telling you the next thing you should do. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be able to take that. Like I'm not a podcast guy. I'm not a DJ. I'm not an actor. I'm not a this. I'm not a that. But they're telling you that type of stuff so you can stay in the game and you can keep your flow going, and that'll help you for what you exactly want to do. Instead of fighting it, I adapt to it. You know what I mean? Because I noticed that, you know, people don't. Why waste oxygen? So why would a person waste their time saying something to me? There's a reason why a person would tell me anything, and I gotta get something out of whatever they say. You know what I mean?
Say that again. Say it louder for those in the back, man.
People don't say anything for nothing. There's something in words that people say to you because they wouldn't have nothing to say to you if it wasn't worth anything. You know what I mean? Why waste oxygen?
And that's so profound. You know, when we look at it, the way music, the way the scene, the culture is set up today, they're still, and it's not the whole younger generation, of course, but we still have a segment of it that still does not understand the struggle, does not understand the heartbreak, the hardship, even the triumphant victory that the legends, the forefathers laid before, and all the hard-fought wisdom that came from those struggles. Even for us as podcasting, we understand those who came before us in terms of writers, journalists, you know, Elliot Gordon, Elliot Wilson, Alan S. Gordon, Cole Coker, so many others. And we learn from them.
Jack.
Yes, Combat Jack. Rest in peace, Combat, man. We wanted to be students who were taught under the tutelage of professionalism so that we learn the technique for how we would speak. What do you think is missing in the game with a lot of these young artists who think that they started it on their own and that they don't own or owe, well, they don't owe rather anything to anybody?
Give them some time. Cream rises to the top. We were once them.
Mm-hmm.
There will be one. There will be two. They might all come. They have it. They feel it. They see it. They're just in their time right now. Remember when we were in our time?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what you're saying now is what you're saying now. But some of them people, they didn't think that when we were out doing what we were doing. They didn't think we had no knowledge of what we're talking about now. We didn't say that then. So, that's what I'm saying with patience. You know what I'm saying? Let everybody get the time to, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it seems unfair. I look at the new generation, how people came down on them. I was like, man, come on, what are you talking about? That was just us when we were kids. You feel me?
Right.
You know, set an example, put it out there, gravitate to them, get into their mix, and then show them the way. If you're not doing that, you're going to have to get out of their way and let them step to it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't force feed it to them unless you're actually doing that. And so for the forefathers of rap and how they're going about it, yeah, they're figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're making those songs and, less and less of them are making those songs now. It was before a whole lot of those guys was making all kind of them songs. You feel me? But they see what was going on and they stopped making songs like that. I noticed that. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to fall for that same thing all the time. You know what I'm saying? They started to do songs like, this one artist out here that got this song, I'm doing better. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, you're using the words on the melody the way you want to that have a positive meaning. I get it. You feel me? You can live to this type of music. This ain't, I off this guy, I took this guy out, I did this to that one ain't here, we're smoking on that one, ain't all that, In the same area, a kid did a song like that, some kids did a song like that, and they're not here with us now. So, people can see things, youngsters ain't stupid, they're just youngsters, you feel me? They may do stupid things sometimes, but who hasn't done something stupid? We're all guilty of it. So we just got to give them time, and hopefully they learn from their mistakes.
And that's real. And that's real, man. I mean, that's important because I think to have longevity in the game is two things: common sense and courtesy for others. And those things are highly important. When you look at how the music is being processed and how it's being promoted, back in the day, you didn't rap if you didn't know how to. We looked at it as a sacred art. And now it seems like everybody's trying to jump in it. And they're doing with like a wind and a prayer. They're trying to wing it, hoping they can fly, but don't understand, how to maintain the altitude. What do artists have to understand in terms of what it takes to get good at it, to practice before you present it to the world?
Now it's the microwave generation. You can't tell nobody nothing. I think they know everything. And so once they get in there and see it, they see somebody can really freestyle, somebody can really write.
They get Mike quiet for a second. Take your mic quiet. We can't hear you. Check your mic. Check your mic.
Check the mic. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Look like we have a slight technical difficulties, but definitely we're gonna be back up on in a second. This is Off the Cuff Radio.
I'm good.
Episode 672. We are live with Squeek Nutty Bug. I don't know if they can hear me or I can't hear them, but we're gonna see what's going on with it. Can you hear me on your side?
Yeah.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm gonna bring T back on.
Can we smoke?
Can we get to back to my session, bro?
Yeah, I'm about to bring T. Yeah, hold on, I'm gonna bring T back on real quick. Then she.
My session, bro.
All right, T, come back on it a little bit. Yeah, to fix it. Yeah, I had to do something real quick. That was my bad, y'all. But yeah, man, we live and direct with you, man. We building on what's going on with this industry. In case everybody those who just tuning in, got my man Squeek Nutty Bug up here right now. We building up here on Off the Cuff Radio. And I wanted to shoot this to you before we bring T back, man. Like out of all the places that you toured in, what was like the wildest city?
A wild city? I don't know. I think Arizona's pretty wild. Arizona's pretty wild. You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. I don't know if you got my last question to you. Did you hear me or did I get cut off?
Arizona.
Yeah, we was talking about the wildest places that he's been because
okay.
You know how people always focus on the big cities. They think like the wildest cities be like LA and Texas and New York City. They don't know that a lot of those small towns be crazy.
Arizona goes down. Arizona goes down, and I kicked it tough in Wazoo, and Portland's a fool too. Portland's a fool.
Look, Oregon got their little hip hop scene too out there with Face Sean and all those dudes out there. You know, they've been coming up for years.
Yeah, Portland's a fool, man. They got all the most strip clubs in the whole United States.
I did not know that.
See, people wouldn't even know that. They assume in Atlanta.
Man, nah, not strip clubs like that. I'm talking about regular strip clubs.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Man. So what part of Arizona were you in? Yuma, Goodyear, Flagstaff, Phoenix, Tempe? What part?
So I usually do the Super Bowl with Channel ATV. So one year I booked like 5 shows. I was in all the Dells. The Dells, Tempe, I did it. I just did like 5 shows.
Right.
I did Scottsdale tough, real tough. Baby Bash, Tech Line, everybody was real tough. Insanity. Glendale was popping, you know what I'm saying, at the mall, you know what I mean? Some other Tempe was popping too, you know, and then downtown I got to kick it with Free on 2 of his shows. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Arizona's really popping, man. I love Arizona. Arizona gets it in, man.
Look, the Wildcats doing their thing right now. They might mess around win the title this year, the basketball, man.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they got a lot of good sports programs down there. I think Jason Terry used to coach something down there. Or if he's still doing it. You know?
Yeah, man. Look, I mean, I remember them old Arizona squads back in the day. Miles Simon, Bennett Davison, Eugene Eggerson, David Stoudemire, Khalid Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
them boys had a lot of wild cards.
Man, look, you know, Jason Terry, of course, he played there. Chase Budinger, all those guys, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that old Pac-10, I tell anybody, it won't nothing like it. When you look at it in hip hop today, with a lot of artists coming in, everybody's so eager to try to jump in, but they don't have polish. What do artists have to understand about what it takes to really, really get good at it before you put it out to the world and really trying to make it last?
First of all, if it feels good to you, stand behind it. If you have any doubt, or if anybody has a doubt, find out what that is, you know what I'm saying? Resolve the doubt, you feel me? But sometimes I tell you, man, I learned from me, I did it for myself. If I liked it, I was cool with it. You feel me? But you know, as an artists don't never like none of their stuff. They always think they can do it better. So, you know, stop listening to that voice and start listening to, I don't know how I can say it. It was just like, it was cool for me to listen to, so I dug it and I let it ride like that. You know what I mean? I don't do it to satisfy anybody else's ears, you know, but at the same time, I did a lot of practice. I do a lot of rehearsals. I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of writing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, I let myself be the expert instead of somebody else.
I don't know if that's a creator's thing, but it just feels as though like when you do it, let's say you put out an album or you put out a single or any project for that matter. That could go for anybody that's a creator. We don't even
Yeah.
go back to it for some odd reason. We don't even revisit it. We just go, okay, it's done. We go forward. We won't even
Yeah.
go back and listen to the
Right.
replay.
No, nah. You're real about that. I got a saying. Somebody might like the words that I use, but I don't love these hoes. You know, I treat my songs like hoes. I make them. I put them out there. I find out which one's gonna make me the most money. You know what I'm saying? But I don't sit there and babysit on no hoe. Feel me? I don't sit there and babysit on a song. I'm one take Jake. I'm out that motherfucker. Next, hit it again. Let's get another one. Let's get another one. You feel me?
Hey, that's the type of efficiency that's effective when you're excellent at what you do. When you look at social media and how artists market themselves, do you think that takes is that a substitute, or do you think it's still important for everybody to really get out there, meet the people, and really understand the interaction with your fans is the real jewels?
That is true. That is true. The interaction with your fans is true. I know a guy that's a genius. I ain't gonna say his name. I seen this guy interact with his fans. He loves them. They love him, and he does it. He does almost doesn't like to do it, and he does it just enough to have them going crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you know, I sit back and watch this guy do his magic with his fans and his people. You know what I mean? And I kind of imitate it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving them, I be out there with them enough, but not too much. You know what I'm saying? You come and get me at the show, but you'll never see me at an after party. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah. So if you ever do, it'll be a real special treat. You feel me? So you know, and it keeps people in their p's and q's. You don't want to go everywhere where you hear this hops off and pops off. You know what I'm saying? Which yeah.
How, and that's kind of a follow-up question. How important is it to know when to go home?
After you got your money, go home. Take a picture with your fans and get up out of there. After you perform, you're out of there. You're not there to do anything else. Enjoy that night somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to say you're enjoying the night, you got paid for a service. Let them enjoy it. Put some mystique in between you and the audience. You know what I'm saying? Don't be there the last guy. Don't be all out in the parking lot and all that whatnot. You know what I mean? If they can see you for free, why would they pay you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's an interesting contrast on how you're looking at it too, man, because you being around a lot of these legends, and you know, in comparison to what a lot of people are saying with today's rappers and you know today's stars in general, do you think the loss of mystique is the key why they can't really sell records or attract like they used to?
I mean, they're not out the trunk. They're not out the trunk. If they go out the trunk, you're good. See, I'm an out the trunk type of person. I really want the people. See, I'm a fundraiser. But see, fundraising and what I do, I can still give them albums and records, but fundraising, I'm talking and just get money. So sometime I out the trunk, you know, I still got to re-up on my merchandise and it goes back and forth. So I balance it out. You know what I'm saying? I balance what I want to come out the trunk with or how I want to sell it to, or if I'm giving you promo. And I'm see what I'm saying? You got to have octopus arms. You feel me? You can't let that one facet of them guys seeing you and playing with you stop your money. You know what I mean? And then you got to have times where, man, I'm out my bag, man. I'm getting my money. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to give me that much for a show, but you're going to give me a merch table? Well, I'm getting my money. You know what I'm saying? And that's the game in itself. You got a platform to make some money. Utilize it. You know what I mean? How many people are going to be there versus how much money you're going to pay me to rap? You know what I mean? 10,000 people, man, I'm there.
Hey.
You know?
And hey, that's called knowing it.
Yeah.
The proliferation of AI and how that's becoming a thing and how it's becoming so prevalent in the industry and even some major artists co-signing it. Squeak, how do you feel about that?
There's 5,000 floors in the music game. AI is one of the floors. I still ain't seen you guys come with the Spanish rapper. You feel me? I still ain't seen you come with the Chinese or Japanese rapper. Still, there's 5,000 floors. You're gonna have to get through 5,000 floors. So what's AI? That's just one of the. That's just another level. You know, go through it. Hurry up and get to it and go through it. Certified snack. There it is. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I even put a trial run on that song. I performed it with some other songs, and it stood up. It stood up so well that you're crazy if you're not using some type of AI in any way. In the rap game, when you're not thinking you're using AI, you're using AI anyway. You know what I mean?
Right,
All the
right.
auto tune plugins that's artificial intelligence. So when you say you're not, when they go to the graphics they're using nowadays, that's artificial intelligence. You know what I'm saying? So why fight it? Why waste time fighting something when you can get with it and make some money off of it? You know what I mean?
Facts, facts. Um, Tell us about your new project that you got coming and what was the inspiration behind it?
Um, that new one, baby, I like your smile. If it's good for me, it was the rap game seemed it too dark and tough and macho and just flashy. So I just said I wanted to come with a party song, let people know I came to get down, and we're gonna talk to each other. Baby, I love your smile. You know what I'm saying? So everybody can say it. Anybody can say that hook. You know what I'm saying? It means something. You know what I'm saying? To tell someone they love their smile. It's a whole different feeling to it. A whole different feeling of partying and socializing and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's that project, that I did with RC. And I got some more coming. I do the complete opposite of a song I do also. So I got some other ones called the eviction notice. And it's talking about basically, get to work. Don't think nobody's gonna just hand everything to you, you know what I'm saying? You know? I got another song called Never Met a Girl That Can Dance Like You. It's kind of a what's that song? Empowerment, women empowerment. It's like you can dance, be pretty, sexy, or beautiful, whatever, and that's just what it is. You're dancing and you're pretty, you know what I'm saying? Keep a good head on your shoulders, stay focused, get your money, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, like I said, then I go to the opposite of the song, like sliding down the pole, popping on a handstand. Another song called Ratchet, you know what I'm saying? So, and then, good vibes. I got some various songs, but they're pretty good, Yeah.
And that's dope, man, that you have that level of imagination to have that type of diversity. It shows your real level of versatility. One thing listening to it, it really brought a spirit of what we call that 1995 energy. And if anybody in his hip hop knows their history, 1995 and 96 are two of the greatest years ever in hip hop history. And it was really a time where we saw so many classics come out. And you brought that energy back of happy, optimistic, positive rhythms that really highlight we're all here to have fun with it.
Yeah.
When you look at the game today, Squeak, where do you think it started going wrong in terms of the dark energy and the just the overall just negative vibes? Not in all the music, but in some of it.
I think the bullets got released faster. Cause like I said, we're just the young kids, and that's what we're talking about, the YNs. The music got darker, the drugs got stronger, the drugs got more available. Social media came, everything's in a flash. We were creating like baby monsters overnight, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, they were all still us. You feel me? They just That's where they came into it. You know what I'm saying? So and then it was like just a job to be a rapper was that rappers were getting taken out left and right. Remember that? It was like they just getting took it out left and right. You know what I'm saying? Didn't matter if it was old rapper, young rapper. Don't matter. Bam, 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 bam. So then we started noticing which ones are taking out each other more. Then we start understanding, okay, well, that's the ones we book. You know what I'm saying? If these youngsters are smoking each other, let's book the old school cats, and maybe they can want to come to that level. I think they seen that. I know they seen that. They seen it. Ain't nobody gonna come through. Huh?
Plus, it comes with less of a risk, though, because a lot of these guys, you try booking them, there's a high chance it's gonna be a shootout, gonna be somebody getting killed. So they like, okay, this guy here, we're gonna go to the guy that's been even though we gonna have to pay him his money, we're gonna go to the veteran.
Yeah, it's about some money, man, and entertainment. You know what I mean? We want entertainment. People want to get paid. People get paid for entertainment. Man, we don't want to go to no funerals. We didn't ask for a
Mm,
funeral. We asked for entertainment. To ask for entertainment. The city needs people to go places to be entertained. Because if not, there's going to be a lot more funerals.
that's real. That's past real. And that's something I think people really have to understand. But it's ironic because when we look at artists like Mobb Deep, Cormega, Coogee Rap, who gave us some of the illest hardcore classics, back in the day, we could see them today and they're going to perform those classics. But, being older, that generation we came up in, fathers, their grandfathers, grandmothers, mothers, all of that. So it's like that energy is just, it's shifted now. And everybody's really about the preservation of life, not the extermination of it.
Amen. You right
Um,
about that.
and and the thing is, that was the time in the culture where arguably, because there was always issues in the street, but even then back in the day, it really had to be some shit before it really jumped off like that. And now it's like with some of these artists today, shit can jump off just from anything.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah, it's too much, man. It's too much.
Um,
Metal
Real
detectors,
true.
man. Security, man.
So we're
yeah.
going. So we're moving on to the current state, man. Do you have any new projects that's in the work right now?
Yeah, I'm constantly doing music, you know what I'm saying? Do songs for the Bragabilia Energy Drink. I do songs for the city whenever they need a song to come out. I do songs, Channel ATV give me a couple songs. This year I did a Seattle Seahawks song. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing the stuff that I should be doing, you know what I'm saying? I do songs for different movies, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, putting together the songs that hit, put them together as an album or whatnot, and trying to circulate that. But like I said, I like the singles and I like Out the Trunk because why waste time on 10 songs if you can't make it out for one?
Sound philosophy. And being entrusted by the city to do that brand marketing in terms of your music, what does that mean in understanding the responsibility of it to do it?
Well, it's kind of funny because I'm kind of the wrong person to work with in that aspect, but they know that I'm gonna pull it out artistically. Most likely gonna like it, and they're not gonna see the angle that I use. But I make it simple. It's not too hard. I'm not too artistically all over the place where I don't understand, don't cuss on the song for Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? I got common
Right.
sense to it. But it goes hand in hand. Um, can you
Absolutely.
grab that
What
for
did that
me,
mean for this?
partner? Yeah, the white one, the one before. Yeah.
And we hear the cooking in the background. Something sound real good.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. That's what we doing. In there cooking up. That's what I was
So what?
interrupting with the interview.
It's all
Yes, sir.
good. What did it mean, y'all in Seattle, to see the Seahawks win the Super Bowl again, man? How big was that for the city?
It was huge, but I feel we got cheated. You know, it was huge.
In the sense of,
It was huge, man. It was a great thing, but
Mhm.
I know Seattle and the way we get down. They let the celebration. The celebration wasn't like a real celebration. It was like, ah, it was like a taste, a teaser. It wasn't a real get down. But them boys, they deserved it, and they played a lot. And it was almost a mess up. But you go to San Francisco for it, they're already wearing Niner jerseys all over the place. You're in Niner
Right,
territory anyway. So how are we gonna celebrate? How can
right,
Seattle
right.
celebrate after we win a Super Bowl if we got Patriots jerseys and we got Niner jerseys? It was like, oh my goodness, you know what I'm saying? And I was healing. I was healing from my cancer treatment. So, I was booked to some places, but I didn't even get to get it down there. And then it was so bad that, I had friends that were coming to some of my shows. So I called some of the people and was like, can my people come in? They're like, Squeak, whoever did it like this isn't a good thing because don't nobody want to see no Seattle jerseys. I was like, ooh, so I got to tell all my people that they can't even go to the places where they were celebrating where I was getting down at. You know what I mean? Crazy business.
Absolutely. And I
You know,
mean, and we're glad that you made it back from your treatments, for your condition and everything. What does it mean to maintain your health in this industry and to know how to take care of yourself for longevity to ensure success?
it's so important to know about health in this industry because, like I said, you see the rappers falling off stage. They're dropping like flies. Only if they knew to drink water, if they knew to do vegetables, if they knew to get their blood pressure checked, if they knew, some of the things that they're partaking in isn't a good thing. So it's almost like a job
Right, right.
inside the hip hop culture, just entertainment, the entertainment field alone, to tell and look out for that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep people healthy, and health is your favorite entertainer. You don't want them having a heart attack at the show, man. That'll mess you up. If somebody could have just schooled them on drinking and eating a little bit better, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a big deal. So Nipsey Hussle and Dr. Sabi and them guys, they was on to something with health. Whoever's on the health tip right now, them are the saviors also, because they trying to keep you here. You know what I mean? They're
Hmm.
trying to keep you here because ain't nobody telling nobody to drink Beautifuls and Hennessy and double cognacs, man. Ain't nobody telling them to drink no damn water. You know what I'm saying? You're going out with this guy, all the tomahawk steaks and all the fried chicken and catfish. Ain't no one telling that dude to eat a salad or go get his blood pressure checked. You know what I'm saying? These guys are literally going into the dentist and then waking up in the ER, having heart attacks. You feel me?
And that's crazy, man,
Yeah, that's
because,
a real
when we
vital message. That's a real vital message to deliver, man. Because it's been like that since the 2020s, man. And you just been seeing one after another drop. So that's why we want to also, take our platform to, encourage health is wealth.
Health is wealth, amen. That's the
also
best
in
stuff
terms
I
of
heard.
it is, in addition to health, because we also see when health goes wrong, how important is it for artists to get their personal insurance straight in terms of making sure that if the worst does happen, that they are taken care of in that capacity?
It's part of the business. It's almost like everything we're talking about, we didn't learn out of high school or college, and no one gave us that course. But somehow in the hip hop world, we're hitting on angles that's making us better people as a whole. Insurance,
Right,
health,
right.
finances, contracts, which way to go, how not to do it. I mean, damn, that's almost like, just basic common living. So we're learning how to live better through hip hop. I think I said it before, this hip hop is healing. You know what I'm saying? So if you get into some music game, man, most likely you're supposed to be there because the way that is dishing it to you in life, you might not catch on, you might miss it all. So yeah, get some insurance if you can. Know to set some policies up for your family members and your loved ones for if anything does happen to you. You know what I'm saying? Your emergency contacts and whatnot. Yeah, that's very important. Everybody should do it.
And we about
Absolutely.
to go in and probably wrap it up, man. But it's been dope chopping it up with you. But I want to leave you with one more question. How did you meet up with Fleetwood?
Fleetwood, like I said, I did a Super Bowl in Minneapolis, and I bumped into this young entrepreneur, this young lady, super entrepreneur, and I do business with my sisters, you know what I'm saying? Ain't always a fast money sexual thing with me, and so she had a hair salon. Her name's Mary Lemon out of Minneapolis. Her and my homegirl Van Kelly and Southside Fancy, and they know a brother named Fleetwood, and so they hooked me up with Fleetwood because they're like, Squeaky handles his business for real. And through me and Fleetwood, we got some friends we know in common, like Octavius Miller, and he's been doing the West Coast Hip Hop Awards for the last 13 years independently. You know what I'm saying? All the names, you feel me? And me and this brother talking, they hooked us up. They're like, you and Fleetwood should work because you guys are, I think Fleetwood reached out to me and was like, yeah, I want to work with you, homie. You know what I'm saying? And, I was honored, you know what I'm saying? Because that's a super guy, you know what I'm saying? And
He
just think
is.
about
He
it.
is.
He hooked me up with you. And, Fleetwood been in my corner forever. I mean, right now, like, I wake up to his text. He sends me gospel songs and messages, and I kind of understand why people want me and
Yes, that's
Fleetwood to work
him.
together. I
That's
get it.
him.
They're like, Squeaky, you can send a message. You just need the script. And I'm like, yeah, and I think I know what script you guys want me to send, but I'm like, that's that one part about me. It's like, I want to say, I want to do what you're talking about, but I also got to look out for my brand in a way that I got to keep this floating. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Man, look,
he got me
that's
with
called
streaming is a
inspiration.
scam. Streaming is a scam. White folks steal food. Yes, they do. White folks steal too. I think that's like the best stuff I've ever heard. So right now, Fleetwood's like my hero right now. But yeah, man, I can't wait to do some stuff with Fleetwood, man. That's a super guy, man.
That's
And we
dope,
can't wait to
man.
hear it and have y'all both on the show to talk about it. Shameless plug too. Seeing you're tapped in with Sick With It, you gotta reach out to E40, D Shot, Be Legit, Jupiter, because we had Sugar Free on the show already.
Okay.
Tell Uncle Sugar Free we would love to have him on the show too. Reach out to all of them. Tell them we would love to have them on, man.
Oh, Free, I tell Free, man, of course, you know what I'm saying? Bobby B, I don't know if them guys are tuning in now or however they tune in or whatever, but yeah, for sure. That's a will do. That's a will do.
Absolutely.
Get a hold of Teddy. You guys line it up through Teddy and a couple of my other homeboys, John West, you know what I'm saying?
We would love to
R&B
have them.
singer,
We love to
I'll let
have
them
them.
have it. Sexy Chef, I don't know if you got to play the Certified Snack song or how I'll be able to keep up to what's going on if you're playing the cuss, but let me know how they doing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna put it on we're gonna throw it on the rotation. Good. One thing I wanted to do too, man, I want to make this announcement here.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it real with a lot of people. A lot of people got some trash playlists on their Spotify, man. So what I want to do is I want to start my own personal playlist on Spotify, including some of the dopest songs from on the behalf of the Off the Cuff Radio team. And we definitely gonna include one of your joints on there too, man, because you got some dope stuff, man. So I'm like, I need a good top 20.
Okay.
So I got tired of looking at everybody trash playlists, man, because I was like, damn.
They ain't playing no heat, you know what I'm saying?
So I'm letting y'all. So yeah, man, we gonna let y'all know, man. Like 20 bangers, and you definitely on the list already. I mean, I just wanted to make that announcement at the end of the show because it resonate better.
Yeah,
absolutely.
right? It feels better, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So
Thank you, Off the Cuff, for having me.
No doubt.
Lil Squeak, thank you. You're welcome back anytime. Thank you so much again for the wisdom, the game, the genius, and everything in between. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're a great person. You're good with words, man. You keep doing this,
Yeah,
man.
that's why I call him T-Max with the facts, man.
Yeah, T-Max with the facts is good at this, man. You ever go to any place and keep a camera on you and do interviews?
No, and quick thing.
Think of BET this June. Come down and hang out with me in LA. BET this June. We'll get some interviews in with everybody. I mean everybody.
I'm gonna shoot you
my
number. I'm gonna shoot you the number through the DM from my page, T-Max and DA. I'm gonna shoot the DM and we'll talk off air. I gotta say this real quick, because without Chinchilla King, Sandman, I wouldn't be doing this because I never really thought I had the personality to. I never thought I had the personality to co-host the podcast. And they all believed in me. They saw something in me that I did not see in myself.
You're good with the words, man. You got a real rounded way of saying everything and making it come out. You know what I'm saying? You're a miracle wordsman. You know what I'm saying? You're good at this. You should put a camera on you and get to some other places. And, do the Off the Cuff radio show live on camera on the red carpet. Some of these Hollywood events. You know what I'm saying? Get Off the Cuff. You guys in North Carolina, right?
I'm in Virginia, and I'm in Virginia, Hampton Roads.
Okay, yeah. It's popping out there, man. Get to the West Coast. It's really cracking. You feel me?
I was out there last year. Yeah, man. Dope shit. Definitely. But we definitely gonna keep moving with it. Look, moving and grooving. We always in tune and we always on the freshest frequency. People like yourself always make sure that the broadcast, is the politicking and moving and shaking. That's what it do to make it quake everywhere. Look, keep it touching on the turf and all ways of the obstacles. Well, I mean with the tentacles and no obstacles. So
Yeah.
Squeak, thank you again so much. Thank you again. Thank you again.
Yeah, salute to you, brother.
One love. I'll holler at y'all later.
All right.
All
King, take
right.
us out of here.
Peace.
On that note, we up
Peace.
out of here. Big peace to everyone that's been listening. We'll catch y'all again this Sunday. Say Off the Cuff Radio time, so Off the Cuff Radio channel. You heard me?
Peace.